Hello, Melanie Fedrone, your go-to cybersecurity girl, coming to you live with this week's Cyber Chronicles. Small business owners, the next 5 minutes are just for you. This week, we're talking about 365 days of silent theft, the small business cyber attack that no one saw coming. So I want you to picture this. You arrive at work one October morning, a coffee in your hand, ready to start your day. But instead of your usual just login screen, you're greeted with a terrible message that says, "Hello, your files have been stolen and encrypted." This isn't a hypothetical situation. It is a real story I personally encountered last year with a business owner. But here's what makes it really scary. When our forensics team began investigating, they discovered that the ransomware attack wasn't the beginning of the breach. It was the grand finale of a year-long criminal operation. So let me break down exactly what happened. So the initial system breach happened in November of 2023, maybe even earlier. Over the next several months, the criminals quietly stole everything from confidential company information to private customer data, financial documents. Now, at some point, that stolen data was sold on the dark web to a second criminal organization. And the whole following year, that second group stayed quiet and hidden while they gathered more information. It wasn't until October of 2024, just last year, that ransomware was actually deployed. And so here's the crazy part. Because the criminals had been in that system so long and had time to cover their tracks really well, forensics can't even be certain whether November 2023 was truly even the beginning. It's a real possibility that this breach could have happened even earlier. So here's what I want you to know. This company wasn't necessarily careless. They had an IT provider that they thought was handling their security. Does it sound familiar? They had basic security measures in place, and they'd even been doing data backups. But here's the catch. When disaster struck, they found out that their software hadn't properly been patched. Critical security notifications, red flags, had been going to several folders like email boxes, but no one was monitoring them. And though they had backups, they didn't have the encryption key to access them. Now, these things are all issues in and of themselves. We could totally go down the rabbit hole of how their IT guy could have better managed their cybersecurity. But here we are, 4 months after the attack, forensics investigations still continue, and the company isn't fully operational. Today, they're facing a complete infrastructure rebuild from scratch. Now listen, I know what you small business owners are thinking because you tell me every day, like I hear it all the time. I'm too small to be on a criminal's radar. I'm too small to be hacked. If I had $1 for every time I heard that comfort myth, let me tell you, I'd be a rich woman. But here's the truth, and I want you to hear me because I care about small businesses. I come from a long line of small business entrepreneurs. You are not too small to be hacked. You're just too small to make the news. It happens every day, though. Cyber criminals know that smaller businesses don't have the security measures that larger companies do. And that makes you low-hanging fruit and a perfect target. So let's flip the coin and compare this with another recent event. This client who had implemented our small business cybersecurity solution, they had done that when they faced what forensics would later call a sophisticated ransomware attack out of Russia. The difference this time was our military-grade protection picked up on that threat immediately. Our incident response team sprang into action, contain, isolate. And I'm super pleased to say that after a relatively short 5-day forensics investigation, we had them back up and running in 18 hours with 0 data loss. Hear me when I say the difference between these outcomes wasn't luck. It was having proactive cybersecurity in place, managed by security experts who live and breathe it every day. So if there's one lesson I want you to take from this story, it's don't wait for your own ransomware wake-up call. Today's cyber attacks are sophisticated and patient and devastating. And yes, traditional IT support is crucial for your business operations, But cybersecurity requires specialized expertise. I mean, you wouldn't go to a generalized doctor for a specialized heart surgery. So why would you rely solely on generalized IT for cybersecurity protection? But listen, this isn't all fear and doom. That's not how I work. The good news is you don't have to figure this out alone. IT Architects, a veteran-owned provider of cybersecurity and IT solutions, is here to help. Schedule a complimentary cyber strategy session and let's talk about what it looks like to protect your business before you have your own horror story. You have nothing to lose by having this conversation and everything to gain. I'm Melanie Figueroa, your go-to cybersecurity girl. I spent over 20 years in the insurance industry helping businesses recover after losses, but now I'm doing something that I think is even better, and that's preventing them in the first place with proactive cybersecurity. Tag a friend who needs to hear this message, subscribe to my LinkedIn newsletter, and follow me for more cyber tips on how to protect your small business. Until next week, stay safe and stay aware.